the server livery for tyre shredders. So we're going to be applying it today to this Porsche RSR GR3, which we are currently using in our Monday night series. I realise that this series will end, and this statement is a little bit going to be dated very quickly, but you get the idea. So nice and easy. First of all, you go into decals first and apply this, or you can go to paint and put it whatever colour you want. So it's only really 3 or 4 colours, and it should be nice and straightforward to apply. So let's go paint first, shall we, and then colour it essentially whatever colour you want, whatever you want. So we just go nice and simple with the colour palette, and then we can, you know, let's go with the lime green. Why not? Just because that's just what it landed on. Okay, press OK on that one. Rear wing I always make black because it's easier to well, it'll make sense later on. Okay, and then it's entirely up to you if you want to do the mirrors or anything else. So let's go back to the decals, and then first of all I'm going to apply, I will share this by the way, this spotty fade sort of decal here. Okay, so stretch that right out just so it covers the car at the front. Don't worry about that bit at the bottom, and also don't worry about the bit over the wing and stuff like that. We will sort that shortly. Just make sure that that spot there on the top doesn't stretch over the roof like that, see, on the right hand side, because it'll just save a little bit of work. Apply that on there, duplicate symmetrically. Lovely. Okay, next layer, we can essentially add the fade onto the front, to be perfectly honest. So we'll do it from the left hand side. Get your square here. What colour with the green do you think? You can go in a colour you want, really. Stretch that out there. White works with the black, but I go for bold colours on mine, as you know. You know, the pinks and purples and God knows what else. But just to make it sort of. Let's try it with the red, just because it just to see the difference. Okay. With this decal though, I would apply with camera. See how it just changes the angle of it, and also if you come on the front, it changes that as well. Okay, align with camera, then the angle, put that to 10, because then that'll wrap it nice and neat around the edge of the bonnet there. If I do move that back, you see how it doesn't quite wrap the bonnet and round the light there, see? So you put the angle to 10, and then look at that again closer. So if you look very edge of the bonnet there, can you see the jagged edges there? So if I go further up like this, there's still a jagged edge along the edge of the bonnet, which when you paint the bonnet, it's obvious. So if you just keep going, and then it's a nice clean straight line. You see there's no gaps. Alright, for the limit depth, also if you put that on 10, it'll also duplicate it automatically on the reverse, see? So that's a nice clean different colour on the front of the car. Okay, go back, and then really, yeah, we'll leave that as it is. So let's just, like I said, let's make it the red, like we said. Okay, just to sort of, just so you can see how this effect works. Okay, finish. I need to actually on these, while I remember, just make sure that that is also on 10, and the same with the other one. Again, look where the bonnet is, where that gap is there. See, you really see the jagged edge there now on the edge of the bonnet. So you do go all the way up there, see how it just smooths it all out and wraps it around just nice. Okay, great, finish that. So looking a little bit like a ladybird at the moment, which we'll ignore that. Add again, left onto this. So once you do this yourself, it'll be done so quickly you wouldn't really realise you've done it. We'll go with this again, make this the black, and then we will just rotate this so it matches the front here. I realise the blacks are 2 different colours, but we can sort that. Again, align with camera, make it all nice and straight first. And then this really, the fade can be moved around a little bit. Now I've left that a different colour deliberately so you can see the different decals really. You stretch that right out like that, and move that down like this. Line that up so the red's missing, and you can see now the fade is coming into the front. See, stretch that down so it covers the front there. Okay, and then same again. Really, you want to angle. You want to put that right up so it covers that. Depth right the way over so it covers the front again, and saves putting the fade on the other side and trying to match it up. Press OK on that. So you can see the difference in there now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to colour these to the black. Okay, any colours you want really, as long as it follows the scheme, it doesn't really matter. So see, they've got the nice fade there from the red to the black. Great. Okay, now on to the bonnet, and then the same thing again really. What I generally do with this is I get the square first, make it the colour we need it to be, and then I essentially just push it right up. And like you can see the difference in the colour between the bonnet and the actual and the bonnet and on the wings. I'll put that in there first, duplicate that, make that black, pull that all the way up here. It doesn't matter how big this decal is, to be honest, as long as it covers the bonnet, because make sure that's on there. Great. And then you just add the fade, nice and simple, nice and quick. Make that black, rotate that, and then just expand it. And then when you bring it down like this, it should. Now you can see there's a line there just below the fuel intake there. See where the line is? You want to try and get that to match up with the line on the wings like that. See? So then it fades perfectly between the two cars. Now we can mess about with this with the black underneath. So I think the fade's roughly in the right place. But now if we move the black underneath it, the fade is just going to see how the green's popping through. You want to make sure the black is just touching the top of that decal there. It's just like that, just fine adjustments, isn't it? Lift the red up like that, and then it looks consistent, or near as consistent all the way through the car, which again is quite nice. If it is a little bit you know, not quite right, just reduce the size of it. Not that one, you want to go that way. Lift that back up like that, just so that line matches on there. That looks a little better, that for me actually. With the fade on the bonnet, it is just about fine tuning. See how that's all looks like. That line now goes all the way across the wings and across the bonnet at roughly the same place. I mean, for me being a perfectionist, that fade needs to come a touch down just to there, but you get the idea. It's just me being, it's got to be right for me. See, it's not line, it's now straight, see, and you wouldn't know that that is two different elements of the car. Nice and simple. So also what I do with these then is go into body there, and I said I'm going to sort out that little bit at the bottom. Dead easy, put a black stripe on it. Get it to about yay high, just stretch it right across the car. And even match it to the bottom of the door if you want, so the whole, all the side skirts like that are black. You will see why shortly. Duplicate on reverse. And that essentially is it on the basics on how to apply it. It's dead simple, dead straightforward. You can make it whatever colours you want. Just make sure it matches really. Then what I'm usually doing is putting on the side skirts here. We are sticking, not add the list, what we're doing. Make sure all these load because there's a few of them. Come down the bottom here, and you can stick Mr. Wilson's thing there. See how it just stands out against the black? This is why I usually put black on the side skirts, because it just works better. I know it's sort of like bled down there and the thing, but side on looks fine. Rotating it, put on reverse. And again for the rear wing, I also put Mark's name on the rear wing, because, well, why not? He does a great job for us. So Why not advertise them? So stretch that right out like that. Okay. And then I just need to find the YouTube logo like that. Okay. Put that in there. And then I'll do the same as well for the window banner. It's already black. Stretch that right over like that. Hang on, make sure that's central. Okay, so this could work in many different ways. So what we're going to do now, just to show the difference of it is the same scheme, it's just a different colours. We'll go to paint, go to body, and then we'll change this to the blue. Okay, and then just change the spotty black decals like these here. Not them to this one. Change that to say yellow. Leave the red as it is, because like I said, you'll see the fade. Change that to yellow. That one there to yellow. And now the card's got exactly the same scheme, but looks completely different. Same again on here actually, just make sure that that fade there is also, I've got what have I done? Yeah, in the yellow, that's fine. And then make that yellow as well. Okay, and see how it looks exactly the same, but it's just the same but different really. And then slap the logos on as normal, and then off you go, just go racing. Nice and simple. So I hope you found this helpful and informative, and just let us know if you need any more help.